So today we're going to talk about how I put a no-build bed in my 2024 Subaru Forester Wilderness. So this is something that I literally did the day I got it because I live in my vehicles full time and I needed to sleep that night. You could do a much more complicated setup, but this is something you can do in just a few minutes. All right, just to give you an overview, it is here behind the passenger seat, flat. You can see this is where it goes. During the day, sometimes my basket that has clothes on it or something will be on here or other types of stuff. But generally speaking, it's free so I can just get into it when I'm ready to go to bed. So let's go ahead and look at how this works. All right, obviously my pillows and blankets are all on the top. So let's get all that out of the way. Then here we have 3 inches of foam. This I just got from Home Depot. Like, I'm not saying it's good foam, but it was like $25. Then I have a cover on it just to kind of keep it so I won't ever touch the foam. This cover doesn't seal up. I want this to be able to breathe well. Then under here, I have a backpacking. So when I first put this foam in, it was not perfect. I could still feel a little bit of this back of the seat, and I'm going to show you what that's like in a minute. But I put that inexpensive foam that I would use for backpacking under there, cleared that right up. And then underneath here, to bridge this spot, I just have some containers. Now these containers cannot take my weight. They're really though just there to handle my pillows. It's just the little top part. So it just needs to be a flat space. These are containers I got from Target. And then in this spot, I just throw some random things because also this part is not gonna take my weight. This is just the seat folded down. I took the headrest off, those come off. And then if you look down here, you can see it is almost flat. Now it's not perfectly flat. You can kind of tell that there's this like little bit of plasticky lip that comes up. So you have this little lip that comes up and then this little lip. This actually is a little bit of a tiny hill and then a tiny bit down. It's not very much, but it is there. And that is what the backpacking thing does, because that's kind of almost under my hips. And so the backpacking mat kind of covers those little plasticky, rubbery lips and smooths it out for me to have my foam on top. Now, I am 5'7", and this is actually just 72 inches. And this was exactly the piece of foam. Like, I didn't cut the length at all. It was exactly that from Home Depot. That was the stock, and it's 2 feet wide. But I did cut a little bit of the edge of it, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. The other thing to see is the front seat. So I did not move the seat up at all. You can see that it's pretty much even with that seat. Sometimes this gets pushed a little bit. Now, if you tilted this to be straight up and down, it would give you a few more inches, which could be helpful if you're really tall. I'm going to get into it and show it to you in a minute, but at 5'7", I can sleep completely 100% flat. If you were taller than that and you leaned the seat so the seat doesn't go all the way over front like that much. It just goes kind of straight up and down. If you did that, it would give you a few more inches. But how comfortable you would be, it really depends on how tall you are, because some people need a lot more headroom at the top of their head. And also, if you sleep kind of slanted, like leaning up, it actually gives you some more room because of, hypotenuse, right? So looking at the back, you can see this comes all the way to the edge, right? On the side, I cut out some of the foam to go on the real rail. You don't have to do that, but it does give you inches. It does give you what? Probably 4 inches over here. And the reason that's important is because this was just dead space. So before I did that, I had these inches of dead space back here and then inches of dead space by the door that I really couldn't put anything in those spaces. I mean, I guess technically you could put something maybe, but it just wasn't a good place for storage. So it made more sense to cut out those 4 inches, scoot everything over 4 inches, and have more room on the other side next to me. Also, as you see, the back has tint on it, so you really can't see what's going on in there. I didn't pay for tint in my last vehicle because I wasn't going to keep it that long, so it just didn't make sense to do. But I would totally do it again. This is ceramic tint. This is really nice tint. It's not super, super dark because I want to be able to see out of it both during the day and at night, and works great. I think I got 35%, something like that. And so it's very good where even during the day, I can get back there and no one can really see that I'm back there. Now the front, I didn't get tinted. There's many, many reasons I didn't get any tint on this. Part of it is while it is legal here in California to get some tint on the front, it's not legal in most other states, and I go to other states. So to get back to my bed, I first get on my knees in my front seat. I have to make sure that I don't accidentally hit my elbow or my foot or my knee on the horn, because the horn in the Subaru Forester Wilderness is very, very sensitive. At the beginning, I set that horn off a lot. Then I put my knee on the center console. And the reason that's really important is because remember, this space here cannot support my weight. It's just nothing. And it's on top of like some iced tea and plastic containers. So I have to kind of make my other knee go way over that to actually be on the bed, which is on the car itself. So when I get back here, I'm on my hands and knees, which is not how I want to sleep. My head's supposed to be up here, my feet down there. So what I do is I cross my legs behind me, hopefully not tangled up in the sheets. And then I kind of just sit down. Normally I don't worry about flashing anyone because my windows are tinted, but you're here with me now, so I have to be careful, be demure, and not be flashing the internet. So I'm wearing a dress. So then I am laying down. Now, right now, this is a way that I kind of lounge here. It's really nice to have this here because this can be a backrest. I can kind of move the pillows up a little bit. I'll show you what I do. Move the pillows up a little bit. There you go. Now I can lounge here. I can be looking out these windows and people can't really tell that I'm in here unless they go right up to the glass, which would be creepy since it's all tinted. And I can take a nap, read a book, whatever. But let me show you what it's like when I'm sleeping and the fact that I can lie flat. So you can see my feet, if I stretch them out, I can touch that, but I am lying flat. You can see I'm lying flat. I'm actually up on a lot of pillows, and that's just because I have sleep apnea, so I do best if I'm on a lot of pillows and kind of elevated. But I could also not have the pillows and be laying flat. So I'm 5'7". If I took this seat and, as I said, tilted it so it was actually straight up and down, it doesn't lean forward or farther than that, you could get a few more inches. Now, if you're like 6'5" or something, you can get more inches by doing diagonal. I'm going just straight. I use the sides for storage. But if you went diagonal, you could definitely get more inches there. So yeah, this was super easy to set up. It just was the literally going into Home Depot and buying a $20-something piece of foam. It is upholstery foam, but it is not necessarily the best. So right now, as you see, I'm lying kind of on my hips, right? On my side. This spot literally under my hip right this second is losing, it's a bounce back. Now, normally, if you had a mattress, foam or otherwise, you would flip it, you would rotate it, right? I can't do that because I have a cutout that is not symmetrical. So would I do the cutout again? Yes, I think I would, because I like having a lot more space over here for storage. But it does, I don't want to have to buy new foam every 6 months, because I've only had this for 6 months. Now, it is not out of the point where it's making me lose sleep or anything. I just notice it when I'm going to sleep, but I fall asleep fine and it doesn't make me wake up, but it might in the future. And so if and when that happens, then I will have to get a new piece of foam. I would not go get the Home Depot foam again. I think I will order something that is denser, that is thicker from like Amazon. You can get stuff made to order from Amazon, and it comes to you all kind of rolled up, and you let it expand and stuff. I think that's what I would get. Also, the nice thing about that is I could unroll it and stick it in my warehouse space, or, you could put it in a storage unit, whatever, and let it air out for a few days before I put it in the car to get rid of the chemically smell. So to get out of here in the morning, I just get on my hands and knees, make sure that I don't put my knee on the space that doesn't have any support under it. This is more complicated wearing a dress. I don't normally wear a dress in bed, so I just have to do it. Put my other knee on that, because it can take the weight, and then come up over into the passenger side. Flip my feet over so my feet are on the driver's seat. And then when I'm here, I'm squatting on the driver's seat. It's really helpful because I can kind of arrange stuff in my bed. If my pillows are all wonky or whatever, I can arrange that. Also, one thing I do is I get that purple throw blanket and I put it over my pillows. My pillows are white. You can actually see very light colored things through the film, through the tint. So I cover those up, and then the back of this is pretty much just various shades of purple, gray, and blue, and so you can't really see anything. Again, this is Elizabeth Off Grid. If you want to follow along with my adventures as I live full-time in a 2024 Subaru Forester Wilderness, please subscribe wherever the thing is. Comment if you want to say hi or talk about your own build in your Subaru or whatever other vehicle you have. Otherwise, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.